Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Tony Cardenas, and this is the Indianapolis Real Estate Market Update. I'm sitting here today with my great friend, Greg Cooper with Compass Real Estate. Hey, Greg, what's going on?
How are you, man? We're not sleeping a lot these days, we real estate people, but I guess that's a good problem, right?
Well, yeah, the bottom line is, how the listings and how quick they're selling and, you know, overprice offers, things like that. Greg, what are you seeing out in the market here, in the Hamilton County, Indianapolis market? Kind of give me a little honed in radar.
So there's hardly any inventory, which you all have been sick of hearing about forever. But there's another side of this that I don't think people really consider, where sometimes brokers who aren't directly familiar with it don't consider. And I don't think folks who are just in the general public consider. And that is that just because houses sell really quickly doesn't mean it's easy. I mean, you get a lot of offers, and that's wonderful for a seller. But if you get 10 offers or 12 offers, or I'm hearing in certain situations of way more than, if you get 15, 20 offers, that's hard. That is not easy, because you got to, as a real estate agent and as a consumer, a homeowner, you got to sit there and sift through all of that. Now, generally, the broker will do a lot of sifting for you, but ultimately, it's your decision. Here, you have an advocate in your broker. Right. But you don't have the person that person's not going to make the decision for you. You're going to make the decision. But when you got 15 offers in front of you, even if it's been simplified and broken down, it's still hard.
Well, that's right. But let's talk about there's a lot of people that are going to sell this spring.
Right.
We're at the kickoff of spring right now, and some of the smart ones have already sold their home. Right. People that are waiting, let's say the next 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, how can that actually hurt them a little bit, Greg?
I don't know that it will the next few weeks, but I think as we get into June and July and August, we don't know where the market's going to be. I mean, interest rates have gone up. That will change the availability of who can buy what price point. It might turn 10 offers into 4 offers. So that's not exactly a terrible problem to have, but it is a little bit different than the ones we've had in the past. So I think that the higher mortgage rates that are coming are going to impact the market. They're not going to shut it off. We're not going to have a crash. We don't have any homes to sell. Let's try and remember, in 2008, we had a zillion homes to sell. That's why we had a market crash. Too much supply, not enough demand. We don't have that, and it's not going to get fixed anytime soon. So the bottom line is that the market will slow some, more in certain price points than others, but it's going to continue to move forward most readily in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And after that, we don't really know.
Well, here's the thing. The people that are going to be selling their home, the ones that are going to stay here want another home, right?
Yep.
So it's good. The inventory is very, very bleak,
right,
to say it at best.
Yeah.
What about some of those people that are thinking about building? So you do a building contract. Let's say you do a building contract within the next month with a reputable builder here in Hamilton County or Indianapolis. Walk me through the process. When will they actually start? You sign a contract in 30 days. When are they actually going to start digging the dirt?
I'm going to be as vague as some of the builders have to be, because they've got a shortage of people to manpower to build, a shortage of supplies and concrete, all these things. So the answer is it'll be several months before you break ground, and it's going to be the end of the year minimum, depending on how big the house is that you're going to build. It's going to be the end of the year minimum, and in many cases,
right?
Yeah, maybe early into next year before you're going to get in. The only thing that's good about it is you don't have to go out and have a hand-to-hand combat with somebody on trying to buy a resale. You know ultimately what your product's going to be. You don't know when, and you don't know how much necessarily from the point that you start, but you do know what it's going to be in the end, and that is comforting in a lot of ways.
Well, thank you for that answer, and I didn't think you could really get more clear on that, because I think there's a lot of people out there that just don't understand the process. But I want to flip to something about realtors out there doing really, really low rate commissions. Every time I get too much of a low rate deal, I feel like I'm not getting something, Greg. So I want to talk about the guy that's a realtor out there doing normal commissions versus the guy that's just, out there. It doesn't make any sense how low his deal is. There's got to be something that the seller is not getting when they're listing their house.
Well, first of all commissions are negotiable, as we know this. I mean, and that is legal and appropriate and fair. So what you pay someone who is your representative to sell your home is between you and your representative. So having said that, I think if you're going to get the highest level of marketing, if you're going to get the highest level of service, you can't do it on the cheap. You can be cheap or you can be good. Sometimes the people who are less expensive are not necessarily bad negotiators, but they may not be able to spend all the money on the marketing and things of that nature. And I'm generalizing here. The bottom line is it's all negotiable between you and your client as you are a homeowner.
Well, we know, Greg, when you list homes, that you're all over the place. I mean, you're out there on social media. You got it out on Compass's website. you're out there in different spots seeing your listings. And I think some of these guys don't push out their customers' homes and let people know what's going on.
If you're a home seller and all they're doing is putting a sign up, you got a problem. Look, this really comes down to the dynamic of what we're in. And by that, I mean, the biggest net you can cast is the biggest amount of money you're going to get in return. And if you're just putting in the multiple lists and letting it flow through realtor.com and Zillow, that's fine, but that's not the maximum effort that you need to get the maximum dollars out of your house.
Okay. So I want to touch on mortgage rates real quick. I'm looking at the MND's daily rate survey today, and this is up to the minute. You know, the average 30-year fixed right now, the average, I'm not saying here in Carmel, Indiana, or right in Indianapolis, but it's 4.50%, and the 15's at 3.875%. You know, these rates are climbing up.
Yep.
And if these people that are thinking about selling their home, buying another home, if these rates touch the 5%, it's going to take them out of the market. And
In some cases.
yeah, but I don't think people understand that.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, every time the rates go up a little bit, it takes people into a lower price point because they can't spend as much for the house. So there is that. I also think that we have to be careful to presume that just because rates go up, it's going to cure all of our problems or all of our inventory problems, because it's not going to do that right away. It's just going to make houses more expensive. So you're going to pay more for the same house as rates continue to go up. It doesn't mean you can't buy a house. It just means it's changing the dynamic of the market.
Okay. Last thing. We're going to concentrate on the inner part of Indianapolis, like Broad Ripple, Meridian, Kessler, some of these hot spot areas, Mass Avenue, here in the next few weeks. I would like to have some realtors reach out to us to see if they would like to get on our podcast show that have some experience and know those markets.
Right.
The best way for them to get a hold of us would be at csmediafb@gmail.com. Reach out to us and see if you would like to get on the show with Greg and Tony and talk about the area that you concentrate in. And anything else, Greg?
Give the email address again.
csmediafb@gmail.com.
There you go. There you go. See, and we always have to do it because they're probably driving or who knows where they're at. And then they're going to have to write it on the back of their hands. We need to give it to them multiple times.
It was St. Patty's yesterday, but here's the biggest question, Greg.
Yeah.
Are you going to have any green beers tonight, or do you just pass on the green beer?
I'm just passing on the green beer.
Are you
going right to the clear stuff.
And is there going to be any green in it?
No, there's not going to be any green in it.
Okay. And
no. I want the ground to green up, but I'm not going to put the green in my face.
Okay.
So no. I think that, look, it's an exciting time of the year. A lot of COVID has shifted. The world is getting back to somewhat of a sense of normalcy.
Exactly.
We're heading in spring. The attitudes among so many people are positive and moving forward. And I think that, you know, in terms of people's lives, there are a lot of people looking to make housing changes this year, and it's going to be a complex world that they're going to be working out of.
Well, this broadcast has been brought to you by PRMG Mortgage out of here at Carmel, Indiana. If you're looking for a mortgage rate, get a hold of Greg Evans at 317-590-6546. And Greg, how are they going to get a hold of you?
If they have any questions, they can text me or call me at any time. Get your pens ready, kids. 317-441-7166. That's 317-441-7166.
And what company is that?
Of course, we're with Compass of Indiana.
Those are the new kids on the block that are really making some noise in this town.
Absolutely. We're very grateful with the opportunities we're having, and the growth has been explosive, and we've just been able to embrace our city and our community and our entire region.
Okay, everybody. Thanks a lot for listening, and have a great weekend. Thanks, Greg.